Okay, good morning. Before I call this meeting to order, I would like to note for the record that I will serve as the acting chairman of this meeting. I would like to take this time to first welcome Edwin Lee, who along with Margaret Tobin, our CFO, has been named as a director of this entity. Sorry, I should say Empire State Development CFO. Thank you, Edwin. Glad to have you here and joining us. I now call to order the meeting of the directors of the Statewide Local Development Corporation for Friday, January 30th, 2015. The directors have received the written materials in advance of this meeting. They are free to ask questions at any time. The public is also free to ask questions and comment on items on the agenda within the time limit specified on the agenda posted to the Internet. The first item on today's agenda is the approval of the minutes of the October 6, 2014 director meeting. Do we have any questions, comments, additions, or deletions to the agenda, minutes? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion.
And second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, thank you. The next item to be considered today is a corporate housekeeping action regarding the removal and appointment of officers. I ask that you approve the following appointments. Margaret Tobin to the office of Senior Vice President, and Edwin Lee to the office of Vice President, and Elizabeth Fine to the office of General Counsel of the Corporation. Are there any questions or comments from the directors with regard to this item? I do have one question, actually. Are we doing Liz and Margaret in terms of ex officio roles like we've done with some of our other boards?
The materials weren't written that way.
No,
Yeah.
there haven't been ex officio in the past. I mean, we would have to change the bylaws to make them ex officio, correct? So.
Okay. Something to consider. I mean, even something, as you know.
Yeah, long term. We've done it at the JDA level.
Right.
So we could consider doing it at the statewide level.
Yeah, it's something worth considering, and I think we've also done that for a bunch of our other subsidiary boards as of late. So would be worthwhile just to save an administrative burden of
Right.
not that we want any future changes in either of these roles,
Right.
but just for long-term planning as
Sure.
something to think about. So, and Margaret, thank you for joining us. Perfect timing.
Oh, good.
We are looking to approve your appointment as a Senior Vice President of the Statewide Local Development Corporation.
Wow.
Along with Edwin.
Congratulations, Edwin.
If there's any other questions or comments? Nope.
Sorry.
If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval, which I'm going to need from the people that are actually going to be appointed to the board. So, do you approve?
I approve, Edwin.
Okay.
Do you approve of me?
Margaret?
I approve.
Very good. If we're hearing all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any
I think you could
opposed?
appoint yourself.
No.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer.
All in favor? The motion passes. All right. Now, moving on to the real business of the day, Ray Salaberios will present the remaining two items on the agenda. We'll be able to vote after each item is presented. And Ray's going to begin with the TMP acquisitions item, I believe.
Yes. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
Just wanted the first project to be presented to the Statewide Local Development Corporation Board is the TMP acquisitions, which is the acquisition by TMP acquisition of two companies currently working out of the city of Buffalo. Like many formerly industrial cities in New York State, Buffalo has experienced economic hardships brought about by the loss of manufacturing base and the thousands of industrial-type jobs over the last 30 years. In 2013, a survey found that 30% of Buffalo's residents live below the poverty line, more than twice the national average, which highlights the importance of this project to the folks in the Western region. The project is the purchase of Time Release Sciences, Inc. and TMP Technologies, Inc. from the owner, Jeffrey T. Dorn, who is retiring. The purchasers are Robert J. Lachlan, who is currently the president of the companies, and the corporate vice president, Kirk Dorn, who also happens to be the son of the owner, the current owner. Including the purchase will be the land and buildings at the three sites the company currently operates out of, and various equipment that is currently used at each of these locations, as well as other assets of each company. Time Release Sciences, Inc. was started in 2004 for the sole purpose of manufacturing the Mr. Clean Magic Eraser consumer product line for Procter & Gamble. TMP Technologies, Inc. was founded in 1954 At that time, its sole product was a patented clothesline pulley system. After 60 years, the company has evolved into a multinational manufacturer of specialty foam, rubber, plastic, and metal fabrication. The total financing needs of the project is $27.5 million for the purchase of these two companies. Bank of America has agreed to finance $13.2 million of the total need. The buyers will finance an additional $3 million through equity, and the Erie County IDA will fund $2 million. Mr. Doran has agreed to hold $6.2 million in notes, leaving a shortfall that JDA is considering of $3 million. It is a notion that if the company does not receive approval for the needed financing, Mr. Doran will indicate that he will go to outside interests to sell the company. The most logical interest will be its current competitors, all of which are located outside the state of New York. Companies like Corp in Moonachie, New Jersey, Folgers Foam in Somerville, Pennsylvania, in Massachusetts, and Fomex Inc. in Eddystone, Pennsylvania. All the three companies are major providers of foam and comprise 25 to 30% of the market, and each one has expressed an interest to add P&G to their current client base. If the companies are purchased by the outside interest, they will most likely consolidate the facilities into their current out-of-state plants. This will result in the loss of 124 jobs, future growth, as well as the ancillary businesses that will be affected by the closure of TMP and TRS. Based on the 1A rating, the companies currently generate sufficient cash flow from operations and other ancillary benefits that are provided to the Western New York community as a whole. Staff recommends approval of the proposed project. Open for any questions.
Great. Thank you, Ray. Any questions from the directors with regard to this item?
Ray, the TMP has a grant with ESD as well?
I believe they are looking for a grant, yes.
Okay.
They're looking for a grant or they have a grant?
I believe it's part of it. Suppose they're looking for a grant.
Okay.
It's Excelsior, I believe it is.
Is it Excelsior?
I believe it's Excelsior, yes.
Okay. Okay. So if it's not a grant, then it wouldn't be reflected in this.
Exactly. This is reflecting just the JDA participation in the project.
Any other questions?
No, I think it's a good use of the state's resources.
Great.
An important company, and I think it's a viable company, will repay the loan.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Edward. Are there any comments from the public with regard to this item? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval.
Motion?
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Ray, please continue and present the Upstate Veterinary Specialties PLLC item, please.
Okay. The next item in front of the board is the approval of a $2,160,180 loan to Upstate Specialty Properties LLC. This is for the benefit of Upstate Veterinary Specialties PLLC. Upstate Veterinary Specialties PLLC, Upstate Specialties, provides animal primary care for dogs and cats, basically, and for the dogs and cats that require advanced medical care in the facility. The business is currently a tenant in a night weekend veterinarian emergency facility that provides overnight care for hospitalized patients, dogs and cats for the specialty services. Physical constraints within the current lease space, which is approximately 14,000 square feet, have limited the ability of the practice to add services to meet the demands of the local veterinary referral community, prompting investigation to a new business location. The proposed site will be developed for Upstate Veterinary Specialties with a two-story building that will consist of 18,000 square feet on the first floor, 3,000 square feet second floor, and ultimately an additional 8,000 square feet on the first floor, for a total of 30,000 square feet. The new facility will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with veterinary staff overnight for emergency receiving and inpatient care. The expansion will allow Upstate Veterinary Specialties to add new services such as oncology and emergency critical care, and expand existing services, cardiology, surgery, neurology, and internal medicine. A mobile MRI trailer will be outside, and the proposed expansion will also accommodate other advanced imaging services that currently require travel facilities outside of the capital region. Basically, pet owners now are forced for many of these services to go at least 30 miles outside of the capital region to obtain these services. The practice currently employs 44 individuals, and the expansion will create 14 new jobs for skilled workers in the existing specialty services and 14 new jobs for the new oncology and emergency services. The JDA is filling the need of the competitive financing needed for this project. The borrower has shown us that he cannot find these dollars for a similar price and where JDA is coming in. So the reason we're going for this project is that JDA's finance is needed in order for the borrower to move this project forward. We believe that the staff believes that the 1A rating and that upstate veterinary specialty currently generates sufficient cash flow from operation to service all the projected debt. With the also increase in significantly their existing service levels, the company will also offer emergency services with a fully staffed, dedicated emergency facility. At the completion of the project, again, the project will have 44 full-time jobs and will retain 28 new jobs and be created over the next 3 years. We have received a strong support from the community on this project. John Evan Hornsby and I went up to visit the folks. We toured the facility, met the doctors on staff, became very impressed that these doctors are very dedicated in their business. There's an actual need for the service in the capital region. Any questions?
Any questions from the
Sorry.
directors? No, that's fine. Thank you, Ray.
Ray, sorry. Just out of curiosity, how common are these types of facilities?
Well, actually, the pet business itself is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
So these facilities in New York State, in New York City, there's 22 of these facilities in New York City. 22 that handle these type of services. 22.
24/7
No, 24/7. There's 16
in New York City.
in New York City.
In New York City.
In New York City, because obviously New York City, being the mecca that we are, they're going to have these services more available. Now, in the capital region, there is no one offering a 24-hour service. And in Mohawk, there's no one. There's one facility in western New York, but do not offer 24-hour service. The key to this is that in New York City, if your pet gets injured, you can immediately go to a center to take care of it. In the capital region, it's pretty much, you drop them off and hopefully someone can see them.
And I'm about the least pet-oriented person on the planet, but for 6 months we owned a rabbit who needed, of course, surgery during that period of time and spent the night at one of these places in Manhattan. So it does seem to me that there must be some kind of demand if I was a customer.
Great. Any other questions for Ray? If not, are there any comments from the public with regard to this item? And if not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved?
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. There being no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion?
Seconded?
Great. Thank you, everyone, for your participation today.
Thank you.
So you may